Are you ready for an IDO that's going to outperform, more than likely, all IDOs of 2021? Yes, we're talking about a potential 10,000x. You heard me right. This is a big boy project that's going to be acting. It's unreal. Unreal. You ready for what it is? VeleroDao, a fork of MakerDao. MakerDao is a big boy project on the Ethereum blockchain, and VeleroDao is launching on the Velas blockchain in February. And that's what we're going to do a deep dive on today, because DeFi is huge, but Ethereum, high gas fees and slow transactions, but on Velas, low gas fees and super fast transactions. Is it going to be the game changer for this platform and ecosystem and network? If you like today's video, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. If you don't know me by now, my name is Chiggy. I'm the award-winning author of The Extraordinary New Venture Capital Opportunity, How to Invest Like a Pro. Been featured in the best-selling book, High Probability Trading Strategies, back in 2008, where I used to focus only on currencies, but now exclusive on cryptocurrency. So let's dive straight in. First up, let's play the promo video of VeleroDao so we get a feel for what it is, and then we're going to jump into MakerDao so we can really understand what is it, why is it such a big deal that most people you may not recognize. So let's play the promo video. Let's see what it's saying. There you have it. There you have it. IDO on the 1st of February. Now, VeleroDao is already live, and it's alive and kicking. It's a product I tested out this morning. It works perfectly. You can get your stable coins. You can stake or get some collateral with VLX tokens, Wagyu swap. You can put it in there, and you can take a loan to value out. It is phenomenal. But we are looking at returns, right? We just want to look at pure numbers, pure kind of fundamentals and technicals. But really, first, and the easiest way to know what's the potential of VeleroDao is to look at what is it copying. Well, it's copying, like it's a fork, it's a copycat of MakerDao for the Ethereum blockchain, but it's going to be done on Velas. And MakerDao is a governance token. So its all-time high market cap is $6 billion. Currently, it's $2 billion market cap. And you can see that here on coinmarketcap.com. It is, let's just go down here. There was a couple other things I wanted to say. I'll come back to it. What I wanted to read down here is, what is MakerDao? What is MakerDao? Which will give you a real flavor of what is VeleroDao for the Velas blockchain. So MakerDao is the governance token for the MakerDao and Maker protocol, respectively a decentralized organization and a software platform, both based on the Ethereum blockchain, that allows users to issue, manage the DAI stablecoin. So DAI is a stablecoin, and it's the governance token for that platform and protocol. So initially conceived in 2015, it's been around for a while. It's like the centralized bank, but for the blockchain, for the Ethereum blockchain, and it plays such a vital role when it comes to decentralized finance. Maker is a project whose task is to operate DAI, a community-managed decentralized cryptocurrency with a stable value soft peg to the US dollar. So DAI is one of the biggest cryptocurrencies. It's a stable coin. So MKR token acts as a kind of voting share for organizations that manages DAI. So it's a governance token for the MakerDao protocol on the Ethereum blockchain. So that is what VeleroDao is, the new token that's launching on the 1st of February. It's a governance token for the VeleroDao protocol. And it's like the central bank, but for DeFi, decentralized finance. So when we jump into the MakerDao website, and again, we're just doing a direct comparison, a better, smarter cryptocurrency. There's a few videos on this. It's worth watching and having a kind of bit of a deep dive on this. But what I wanted to cover, because I said a ridiculous number, right? Yeah, you said 10,000x, not 10,000%, 10,000x. So what that means is this, right? Doesn't mean it's going to happen. We're just talking about probabilities, never certainties, but the bigger picture, what is going on here? 10,000x means If you manage to get $100 allocation in the IDO, 10,000x is $1 million from $100, right? So that's no joke. But even if it did 10% of that, that's $100,000 from $100. Now, how can I come up with such a ridiculous number, 10,000x? Because MetaVPad was a big project in the Bluezilla ecosystem as the IDO, and that did a 1200x, right? And now we're talking about a 10,000x. So let's just do some simple math. Today's market cap of MakerDao. Remember, MakerDao is the example here, is the use case, is the proof of concept. The all-time high was $6 billion market cap, but today's market cap is $2 billion. So let's be conservative and use today's market cap. And if VeleroDao reaches MakerDao's today's market cap eventually, it might not be this bull run, it might be the next bull run. If it really takes off and people kind of see, actually, we want to move over to Velas. Velas is issuing a lot of grants. It was originally $5 million, now it's $100 million. Velas is also partnered with Ferrari. It's also partnered with Bluezilla. It's also partnered with quite a few other projects out there. So they're doing big business over here. So let's just now just do some simple math. Right? Simple math. MakerDao, today's market cap is $2 billion. So that's 9 zeros. The starting market cap of VeleroDao, the governance token, which is launching on the 1st of February on VelasPad, is tiny 140,000. Yeah, Bluezilla, like king of tokenomics, right? So for $140,000 market cap to get to 2 billion is a 14,000 times multiple. 14,000 times multiple, which is absurd. But there was a time when MakerDao was a new token being listed for the first time, and the market cap would have been tiny. How do we know this? Because we can just look at it. We can look at it on this chart over here. If I just minimize this, if we go way back, way back, and the initial market cap, okay, well it pounced, right? If we go all the way down, all the way back down to this date, when it went live, it almost was $1 billion straight away. But there was a time when the token price back in its early days was a fraction of what it is today. So it's like $24. Obviously, the tokenomics are going to be different, but it went from $24 straight up to $290, and today's price is $2,000 per MakerDao token. So there's a couple other things that I wanted to jump into, right? So I'm going to reiterate, right? We're just doing pure numbers here. It is speculation, so even if we kind of go, because this is important, right? We go, all right, you get 14,000x. That's a big number. And we go, yes, but what if it just did 10% of that, or 20% of that? That's still 3,000x, right? So that's what we're talking about here. So how do you get involved? Well, Velas. This is the Velas website, the Velas blockchain website, and it is making a lot of noise, and it's getting a lot of partnerships. If you read through the website, it's a great website. It's a fork of Solana itself, but EVM compatible. But if we go right down to the bottom, what do we see? We see the partners. And what's one of the partners of the Velas blockchain? Is the Bluezilla ecosystem, the Bluezilla VC fund. And that's why Bluezilla launched VelasPad. So we are going to talk about VelasPad today. VelasPad is the way to get involved. It is incredibly undervalued right now. Right now is not peak season. There's fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Bitcoin is dipping. Whether we're going to see a trend reversal or not, we did a video on that a few days ago. We're not sure, but it's causing everything to really go down, similar to how it was in August, right? And when the market is down like this, we get projects that are seriously undervalued. And VelasPad is seriously undervalued right now. If we just jump into a live chart, in November, it was as high as $1.35, $1.38, thereabouts. And today's price is around 48 cents. And a week ago, it was less than 30 cents, right? So VelasPad right now is seriously undervalued. So what we want to look at is the VelasPad website, right? Because you got 3 tiers of Launchpad membership. By the way, I've got a free masterclass on how to set yourself up for IDOs. What is an IDO, initial DEX offering? Why is it so lucrative? But also to be aware of the vesting schedules, the work. It's not a beginner strategy. It's a bit more of an advanced strategy. Also note, to get involved with VelasPad, you have to do KYC. So people living in the US and some other countries won't qualify for the KYC. You won't pass KYC because of US law, and just got to double check that as well. But let's just do the math over here. We're gonna start with the lower tier. The lower tier is called Taurus. Same name of my cat. I got a cat called Taurus. You need 20,000 tokens and you get a pool weight of 10, right? So how much would that cost us in today? So if we just jump into CoinMarketCap and we say, right, how much would, they've changed around a few things over here. VelasPad, if we say we want 20,000 tokens, still going to cost you just under $10,000. Is that cheap or not? Well, around, what, a few weeks ago, around 8 weeks ago, it was nearly triple this price for this period, this particular membership. So to get the lowest tier membership, you will need 9,600. If that's just it is what it is with today's price, right? And then when we jump in for the Orion, you need 50,000 tokens. So at today's price, that would be 50,000. So it costs you 24 grand. So it's not cheap, but this was 75 grand, nearly 60 to 75 grand around 8 weeks ago. So it's at like a 66 to 75% discount right now. And then last but not least, we want to look at is 100,000. This is for top tier maximum allocation, where you'll get a pool weight. Basically, when it says pool weight of 60, it just means you're going to get 6 times the amount of people in the Taurus membership. Pool weight of 28 means you're going to get 2.8 times the amount of the Taurus membership, and just under half of what the Vala membership, the VELA membership. So what's that going to cost in today's price? Today's price, it will cost us 48,000. Now, again, this membership cost $140,000 8 weeks ago. 8 weeks ago, this was a $140,000 membership, and today there's a 100 grand discount, right? It just is what it is. Also, what I wanted to note is, let's just say you really want to get involved with VeleroDao, because you go, actually, if it's going to do anything close to MakerDao, even if it does 10% on MakerDao, so it's still a very big deal. It's still 1,000x, right? What we want to be aware of is what other projects are launching between now and the VeleroDao launch itself. So we go to, if we go to the VelasPad website, we go to projects, we can see that we got WeWay. WeWay is launching on the 11th, I believe, 11th of January, so in the next 2 days. Verve is launching on the 20th, and Marvelous NFTs, Bad Days, is launching on the 14th. So we got 3 big IDOs on the VelasPad that's launching. We've also got DotPad, which is a launch pad for the Polkadot ecosystem. Bluezilla have invested in the Masters Venture Polkadot Fund, and that's launching on the 27th, I believe, 27th of January. So we've actually got 4 major IDOs before we've got the VeleroDao IDO itself. VeleroDao is not listed here yet, but it's on the 1st of February. Now, so we want to do some math, because it's all about covering your risk, about risk reward, about making business decisions if you're going to get involved. So a couple of things. One is we want to make sure we understand that there's rewards. You get rewards, APY. It's currently around 40-50% APY, and you get paid in VLX tokens. We've also want to take into account what's the likelihood of, what kind of returns can we expect with these IDOs, and can that cover our cost? So let's just have a quick look. I just want to do some simple math, because IDOs, initial DEX offerings, again, I got a masterclass in the link below, kind of gives a lot more knowledge, and I've done a lot more videos prior to this video on launchpads. I do recommend just checking them out, because it's not beginner strategy. There is vesting schedules. You normally get 10% of your tokens unlocked on the token generation event, which is the listing event. Then you have to wait a month. Sometimes there's linear vesting schedules. There's unlock dates. There's token movements and everything else. So I wouldn't get involved with a launchpad for just one IDO. I would look to do 10 IDOs, 20 IDOs, and really leverage what we see. What I'm anticipating is this last leg of this bull run. So let's just do some math. So let's just say we spent what was it, 100,000 tokens. What did we say it was 48,000. Let's say we spent $50,000, right? So we spent $50,000, 50,000, right? It's not cheap, right? And you can do the same math for the lower tier, Taurus tier, and the middle tier as well. We did those numbers as well, 10,000 and 24,000 for the membership. Let's just say you got your top tier Vala membership for $50,000. Not cheap, but it's, it's 90,000 discount, right, from what it was 8 weeks ago. Keeping in mind that you own these tokens. So if we anticipate towards the end of the bull market, if VelasPad is going to be valued higher than what it is today, right? So let's just say it did do a typical wave 3. I want to do this because this is important, because I get all types of comments and questions. Let's take the closing price, and we went. Let's be conservative, right? Let's just say it reaches its 1.618. Now, why would it reach 1.618? Why would there be a buying surge? Well, when we get close to the dot pad, if there's more optimism in the market, Bitcoin's making all-time new highs. We've got VeleroDao, we've got WeWay, we've got Verve, we've got Bad Days NFT project, and there's going to be other projects. And there's a lot of noise happening with the Velas blockchain. It's EVM compatible, so it's got the best of Ethereum, but it's also got the best of Solana, and they are getting some major partnerships and major sponsorships. I was in Dubai a week ago, less than a week ago, and I was driving down one of the main roads, and guess what was plastered over a big billboard? It was Velas blockchain with cross-swap, swaps, a few of the other, Bluezilla, and a few other, basically big advertising happening. So let's just say VelasPad did hit a 1.618 at some point over the next 5 months, right? Which will be $2.25, right? And you would need 100,000 tokens to get the top tier. But at $2.25, let's be a bit conservative and let's say $2, right? You could sell in 5 months' time for 200 grand. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. It just means it's likely to happen, especially if there's going to be a big demand of tokens. Because if there's many projects doing 100x, 500x, 1000x, and beyond, then there's going to be more of a higher demand, and we saw this in the early phase of the VelasPad when there was more optimism in the market. So you spend 50,000, but you sell for 200,000, meaning minus 50,000, you'll make 150,000 potentially on the token price itself. But you can be a bit more conservative. You can say, well, Jagir, what if it doesn't hit that number and it just hits, I don't know, the previous all-time high at $1.40, or if it's break even. Even if it's break even and you manage to sell close to today's price around down here, well, it means you still cover your cost, right? And you're going to get rewards, token rewards in VLX. And we've got some high expectations for VLX, as in the Velas token itself. So that's number one. Number two, we want to look at WeWay, right? So how much allocation are you going to get? Well, MetaVPad on the VelasPad, I believe, got $140 allocation. So let's just say WeWay gets $140 allocation, and it does, let's just say it does 100x. Is it going to do 100x? I don't know, but let's just say it does, right? You're going to get 14 grand, right? So let's just kind of make a mental note of that. 14 grand. Let's say Verve does 100x, and you get $140. Let's say it does 100x. I know you only get 10% unlocked, but let's just say the average unlock over the next 5 months was 100x. All right, so you got 14 grand, and then Marvelous NFT, let's just say it averages 100 as well. So then you've got 3 projects making you 14,000, which is 42,000. Could be a lot higher, could be lower, but we don't know. Market conditions are not optimal right now, but they are optimal for buying the Launchpad membership itself. That's the point that I'm trying to get across. And then let's just say we've got DotPad, right? So we've got 42,000, make a mental note. DotPad, well, let's say it performs the same as MetaVPad, right? And you get, let's say you get $140 and you get 1,000x. 140,000 plus 42,000. In fact, we can also copy this. Bang. And let's just say now VeleroDao, again, let's just say we get a similar or the same allocation, and let's just say we're anticipating maybe in a medium to long term 10,000x, but let's just say if it only does a 1000x plus what we've already made equals 322,000 plus your original membership 50,000. Let's just say you managed to sell it. Let's say you managed to sell it at double the price. So you make 50,000, get your 50,000 back in your pocket, and you make another 50,000. And then for, let's just say you participate in another 10 IDOs, let's put them to the side. Let's just say that's an extra bonus. But let's just say you get a lot of VLX tokens, and let's just say you get 100, I don't know. Let's just say you're probably going to get like $30,000 worth of VLX token. Keep in mind that VLX token is probably going to appreciate in price. That's $400,000. Now look, I'm just doing some rough numbers. I'm speculating here. I'm making a lot of assumptions over here in terms of Bitcoin price moving up. These doing 100x, DotPad doing 1,000x, VeleroDao doing 1,000x, and other projects. But what we're saying here is you're spending $50,000. You're participating in these IDOs, then you're going to sell your membership, ideally, hopefully at break even or at a profit. You're going to get some staking rewards back in your pocket, and you're going to have a long-term holding in some of these positions, 4 months to 6 months for the majority of this latter part of this bull market. So hopefully that made sense. Hopefully that made sense because I covered a lot there. But the main thing is we've got VeleroDao is a fork of MakerDao. MakerDao today is a top 60 coin, and its current market cap is $2 billion. So if it did match, if VeleroDao did match it, then that's a 14,000x. But again, you can just take a percentage of that and say, look, as long as it does 100x, 200x, 500x, or 1,000x, you're happy. Then to get involved, it's on the Velas blockchain, which is partnered with VelasPad, the Bluezilla team. Here's the memberships. I've got a masterclass that shows you how to do a lot of this stuff. And I've also gone further and created a course. If you want the course, you get an option to buy that course. And it just takes you through step by step because a lot of this is not easy. It's quite intricate, but it's a bit more of an advanced strategy. Then you've got other IDOs that you're going to be able to leverage. There's 3 listed at the moment. DotPad's going to be on here as well on the 27th of Jan, and then VeleroDao on the 1st of February. The main thing to keep in mind right now is that VelasPad, because of the market conditions, because of short-term fear, because of short-term voting, because of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and panic selling, it is incredibly down right now. 70% down from its all-time high. Like there's 78.6%. We said this a little while ago when we did this video, and it's still in this range. Is it going to go lower? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. But I think, because you'll see this time and time again with all projects, if Bitcoin does make a surge towards that 6-figure Bitcoin in February, March, April, May, June, and it hits that 6-figure Bitcoin, projects are going to fly and IDOs are going to fly, and it'll be peak IDO season, and then the demand, because projects will perform better, will be huge for VelasPad. So this price, don't assume it's going to stay here. This is like one of those special moments, like that small window. And we saw this a little while ago with Trumpad when it was 2 cents, 3 cents. And I did a video in August and I said, look, it's not peak IDO season, but it is peak IDO launchpad buying time. As in buy now and wait for the markets to pick up. That does mean there's other risks that you have to take into account. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed that the markets are going to reverse. But if you kind of do a calculated risk, take the APYs into account and a few other things, IDOs can perform incredibly well. So there you have it. I think that's everything. There you got it. VeleroDao. Will it do a 10,000x? Well, I don't think it'll do like a 10,000x, on day one or in week one. I think it will be, 1,000x, and then it will do a correction similar to MetaVPad. And then when the project matures and gets to the next phase, and the Velas network, the Velas blockchain moves to the next stage, there'll be a nice spike similar to what we saw with MakerDao if you look at the price action over the course of years and so on and so forth. But VeleroDao is a big boy project when it comes to decentralized finance. MakerDao plays such an important role as a protocol for the DAI stablecoin. And here, VeleroDao, the stablecoin is USDV. And by the way, there's a 13% difference at the moment as of this morning, where if you put in your VLX tokens and you took a loan to value of the USDV coin and you swapped it for BUSD, you'll get around 13% extra BUSD in terms of dollar amount. There is also important to understand how the whole protocol works. But today's focus was on the VeleroDao governance token, which is a fork of MakerDao. Right, MakerDao is the top 60 coin, so it's a big deal. It's a very, very big deal if you know anything about decentralized finance. If you like today's video, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, take my free IDO Launchpad Masterclass, because it is an advanced strategy, but it can be very, very powerful, especially if we see that six-figure Bitcoin. All right, let's finish on a quote. I normally pick in advance the quote, but today, let's just see. I'm going to go with, we'll go with this one, chapter 5. Yeah, this quote, because I used it the other day in one of the comments, because I aim to reply to every one of your comments on YouTube. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Leonardo da Vinci. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. I like to try and keep things simple, because there's so much information, there's so much noise, there's so much fear, uncertainty, and doubt, fear of missing out, optimism, pessimism, markets moving up, markets moving down. But we want to get leverage. Leverage and IDO platforms is an advanced strategy. So if you're not used to crypto, I will take I got a foundation course on how to do crypto, how to do staking, how to do some basics. But if you've been around for a while and you've participated, I think VelasPad is going to be one of the best buys right now. Why? Because the Velas blockchain is booming. That means there's going to be more and more projects. They've got a strategic partnership with the Bluezilla ecosystem. So, and they're pumping money in. VeleroDao got the biggest amount to date with the Velas grant, and they launching on the Bluezilla launchpad VelasPad, which means all these other new projects from a marketing perspective, from a customer acquisition perspective, are going to be launching on VelasPad, mainly because it gets eyeballs. It gets eyeballs. They don't need more money because they got the grant. It's only 140,000 market cap, the initial market cap, so it's going to be a small raise, but it gets eyeballs and it gets community and it gets the word out that this major project is launching. Also, just as a side note, I forgot to mention it, is I should have shown it on the website, is on VeleroDao you can stake, or you can use VLX to get USDV. You can also use Wagyu Swap to get USDV. And Wagyu Swap is the major decentralized exchange on the Velas blockchain. So there you have it. What do you think? VeleroDao, is the MakerDao fork. I personally love the VLX, not only the token, but the blockchain. Why? Because today I had to unstake some tokens on ETHPad, and it was on the Ethereum blockchain. And oh my lord, the gas fees charged me like $30 for the first transaction, and I think it was $200, almost $200, $130 for the second transaction. Then I needed to bridge over to the Binance Smart Chain, and that cost another, I think it was $160. And it took like half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour. I had to speed it up and everything else. Whereas when I did the bridging, I bridged some Wagyu from Binance Smart Chain over to the Velas blockchain. When I did that, it was minutes and seconds, and the cost was like, in the sense, like, a few of them were like 0.001, and then the other major bridges was like 20 cents or something like that. And it happened in no time in comparison. So when people are having the option of using, something like MakerDao, but it's slow and expensive, then you got as in the Ethereum blockchain is slow and expensive, then you've got VeleroDao, which is fast and cheap. And there's going to be a lot more opportunities because it's a newer blockchain with Velas. I think there's going to be a lot of movement over there. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see you soon.